everyone, what's up? My name is Jordan and this is JJ Cruise. Today we are taking you on a full walking ship tour of the brilliance of the seas. And before we get into it, if you could do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and hit that like button down below, it helps us out. It is free to you. It means the world to us. And with that being said, let's check out Brilliance of the Seas. We are starting our tour of the Brilliance of the Seas up here on deck 13, and we are in the midship elevator bank lobby. There's two elevator banks here on the Brilliance, one more midship and one more forward. So the midship elevator banks, only certain elevators come up here to 13, but on 13 you are immediately going to have the, of course, Diamond Club or the Diamond Lounge. This is going to be the place if you are Diamond, Diamond Plus, or Pinnacle where you can come and hang out. Right across from the Diamond Lounge, we're going to enter into the Viking Crown Loft. It's called Starquest on this ship. On our way there, you are going to have the Concierge Club. So this is going to be a place for suites only. This is a change in 2023. Diamond Plus and Pinnacle members used to have access to this particular lounge. Now it is only for those staying in suites and Pinnacle guests. You're going to have bathrooms here to my right. Men's, women, and accessible restrooms. And then this is going to be the Viking Crown Loft. This is going to be your club on board the Brilliance of the Seas. You've got a nice big dance club here with the DJ booth. And then you have plenty of seating. Now, something you're going to notice on this tour is the amount of glass. The Radiance class ships are known for having a lot of glass, which means you can see a lot of the ocean. It really is quite beautiful. I'm walking around this nice big bar right here. You've got additional seating, and then there is a small portion here that is outdoors. So we're gonna walk out these glass doors so you can see that. The Brilliance of the Seas is a little bit of an older ship. It's almost 20 years old. But out here on deck 13, you are going to have the rock climbing wall. So again, all the way more towards the mid to aft of the ship, you'll be able to take your rock climbing adventure up here. Also up here on deck 13, you do have some loungers. So you'll notice kind of around the rock climbing wall, you've got lots of lounge seating. And then you do have this bridge that will take you over to the fairway. So there is also miniature golf here on the ship. There's not a ton of activities to do for the kids, but up here on the upper decks are where you're gonna find those things. You can see the fairway does kind of stretch around this section of deck. It's definitely not over-themed like some of the other miniature golf courses we've seen on Royal Caribbean ships, but there is miniature golf nonetheless. So this was deck 13. We're gonna now hop on down to deck number 12. We are now on deck number 12. We're still in that midship elevator bank. Now to my right, you are going to have an entrance or exit out to the upper decks. We're gonna take a walk to my left here though, because there's a few other things that are important to note on this particular deck. Now, as we round the corner, you are gonna, of course, have stairs that will take you up to 13 or down to 11, but you do have your loyalty ambassador desk here kind of in the middle of this area. If you are a Crown and Anchor Society member, that is Royal Caribbean's loyalty status program, this is gonna be the place where you can come and find that particular individual. Now, right outside of the Crown and Anchor Lounge, you do have bathrooms and Adventure Ocean. Adventure Ocean is going to be your kids club on board. So all the way up here on deck 12 midship, you will be able to find the place where you can drop the kids off. You've got hours of operations there behind the door. And then you do have Royal Babies and Tots up here as well. Great program if you want to come. There's lots for the kids to do. And this is actually going to be one of the most family-friendly decks here on the Brilliance of the Seas, because there's a lot more for the families to do back here as we're walking towards the aft of the ship. Now you are going to, of course, see this area kind of lined with chairs. You got lots of deck chairs up here, but you are going to have that kids play area or that splash zone right here beyond the wind barriers. So as we take a walk around here, you can see it's closed right now, but you got a lot of different water features. You do have one small water slide up here for those kids as well. And this is really kind of tucked away. We're up above the main pool deck and more towards the back of the ship. So you could easily go on this cruise ship and not even know that this area for the kids is up here. So you can see you've got that water slide up there. And of course, again, that splash zone. Now you've got an entrance up to the fairway or the miniature golf. We were just up there. And then you've got a specialty restaurant kind of tucked back here. This is where you're going to find Izumi sushi. Now keep in mind, on a lot of ships you are going to have Izumi sushi and teppanyaki. That is not the case here today. This is just a sushi restaurant. It is for an extra charge, so if you do want to come and have sushi while you're on the ship, this will be the area that you will do that. It's very good. We actually were able to try this particular restaurant while we were on our sailing, and we really enjoyed it. You got stairs to get you down to deck 11, both behind me and in front of me. That's going to take you down to the buffet area. The buffet area, we'll see it in a little bit, but there's a beautiful area down there. It's kind of sit towards the back of the ship and get those wake views. It's really, really pretty. And then as we're walking around here, you are going to have more loungers. And this is also going to be where the video arcade is. So if you got kids that are arcade fans, you're going to find that just up here ahead of me. You do have shuffleboard up here for those of you that enjoy playing shuffleboard out on the deck. And the video arcade is going to be right here through these doors. So as you can see, it is a smaller video arcade. It's not too big. You've got all of the kind of standard video arcade games. And then if you are looking to redeem those prizes, you do that in that big white box there in front of me. But plenty of entertainment if your kids are looking for a place to come and play some arcade games. These are for a charge, just know that. So we walk past these wind barriers, you are going to have the sports court. So you do see this basketball court right in front of me. Used as a basketball court, also used as a volleyball court. You do have that. And then again, loungers for kind of as far as we can see. And as we get past these wind barricades, we are going to be more towards the main pool deck area. Now the pool deck is on deck 11. However, you are gonna have it open like most cruise ships. You've got stairs to get you up to deck 13 there. And then more lounge chairs as we walk down the way. This is an older ship, it's a smaller ship, it's only about 90,000 gross tons. So it's really nice because it doesn't take you that much time to get from one end of the ship to the other. We've actually really enjoyed it. We've been on a 5-night Mexico sailing out of Tampa. So we are now towards the main pool deck area. You're gonna see that deck 12 here does overlook that pool and 2 hot tubs, and then you do have the bar down there, but we're gonna keep walking deck number 12. Now we are currently on the jogging and running track. You can see the arrow. I'm walking in the opposite direction, but we're not gonna be on here for too long, because I do wanna point out the sky bar to my right. So there's 2 pool bars, one on deck 11 and then one on deck 12. You're gonna find that right there. And as we continue to walk towards the back of the ship, you are going to notice this giant glass enclosure. This is going to actually be your solarium. So we'll get down there in a second. There's definitely not a shortage of lounge chairs on this ship. The jogging and running track does continue to go all the way around towards the front. So we're gonna get a quick view of the front of the ship. Everything that you saw on this side of the ship does mirror on the other side. So you saw kind of all the lounge chairs. You're gonna have that exact same layout opposite on the other side of the ship. We are all the way in the forward elevator bank of deck 12. We popped inside really quick. There is entrances right outside from that deck that we were walking on. And there is an entrance into the fitness center up here. So I did just want to show this. Not all the elevators will come up to this deck, but 3 of them do. And then you have the Ship Shape Fitness Center here with every type of workout equipment you could ever need. This is actually a really large fitness center, especially for the size of the ship. But you've got your weights, you have your elliptical machine, of course you have your running and jogging. Anything that you could really be looking for, you're gonna have here in the fitness center. And then you'll notice the big area in the middle is an area where fitness classes will take place. They've got bikes in here. Like I said, every type of workout equipment you could need, you're gonna be able to find in the Ship Shape Fitness Center on deck 12, all the way forward. We are here on deck 11, again, all the way towards the front of the ship. This is really cool, and I wanted to film up here because it is one of the more intimate decks. You can see you've got absolutely stunning views off the very front of the ship. Larger cruise ships do not allow you to have this kind of intimate, I think, feel with the water. So we love that when you can be this close. You do have to come here via the stairs from deck 12 all the way forward. So there isn't actually another way to access this small deck. It is unfortunately not able to be accessed if you do need assistance or if you are in a wheelchair. You do have to be able to walk down and up those steps. But we're gonna hop over to the other side and continue to check out the rest of deck 11. We've now come inside. We are on deck 11, again, all the way forward. So there isn't any way to get from that deck that I was just out on into here without going up to deck 12 and then back down in the elevator bank. But right here on deck 11, you are going to have, of course, your hair salon. So if you are looking to get your hair done while you're here on the Brilliance of the Seas, you're gonna have that right here. On the other side of the hair salon, you are going to have the lower level of the Ship Shape Center. So like I said, that fitness center is actually 2 levels. So you will have that additional entrance right through here. Now they do offer a number of different services and consultations. If you are looking for something like a massage or any type of service that you would use typically in a spa, they will have that here on board. So you'll just come here to deck 11 if you're looking for something like that. And then directly across from the spa, you are going to have the Solarium. The Solarium is the adults only area on Royal Caribbean. They do technically classify adults only as 16 and up. But you're gonna notice as we walk in here, the extreme theming. This is definitely an adventurous solarium. There's not a lot of solariums that look like this. Of course, the Radiance class solariums look like this, but not a lot of the other Royal Caribbean ships. You will have the Solarium Bar right there in front of me, and then I am just gonna quickly show you this pool. We love the solarium. You can see elephants all over. Of course, you do have that bridge there. You have a hot tub here as well as 2 showers. And something else that's very unique in this solarium is food. This kind of reminds me of the celebrity ships, because of course you have got food in all of those solariums, but you don't typically have that on the new Royal Caribbean ships. But you are gonna have Park Cafe here, which will serve a number of different sandwiches, things like soups, salads, and then in the evening, this is actually where they serve pizza. So you'll have a lot of different food options here throughout the day. There isn't an actual Sorrento's or a pizza place on the ship, so you're gonna get pizza later in the evenings up here in the solarium. We're now walking out of the solarium and onto the main pool deck. So we did see that when we were up on deck 12, but of course you do have 1 pool and 2 hot tubs up here. You will have your pool bar as well. So if you are looking to get a drink, you'll be able to grab that there. And then here's the pool. You do have a screen down here, so they will of course show movies. You can definitely check out some TV while you're in the pool. I will say this though, there is a full movie theater on board. So they don't show the typical movies that they will show on some of the other pool decks on cruise ships. Like you typically see that's where like the main movie viewing spot is. Here on the Brilliance, there's an actual movie theater, and we'll get there in a little bit. We are now walking all around the side to get into the solarium. Over here we do have a smoking section, so we are walking right next to the smoking area. As we walk into the doors, we are headed into the solarium or the buffet area. Now you're gonna notice the art on my left. That is of course Park West. Park West is on all cruise ships, it seems like. But right past the art there were some bathrooms. And then we're gonna walk into the Windjammer. The Windjammer is going to be the buffet that will be on board here, the Brilliance of the Seas. So of course this will be open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we'll have a variety of different options. You notice the theming in here is all wood. It's got that sailing yacht feeling, and that's kind of how they've designed this entire ship. It is lunchtime right now, so it's definitely very busy in here. But again, you've got everything from salads, soups. They have Asian food up here, they have Indian food up here, and the food in the buffet has been very, very good. We're gonna just walk around to that back section that I told you about. The beautiful wake view of the Windjammer is one of the best spots on the ship, and it's definitely easy to go this entire cruise without even noticing what is back here. As we walk through these doors, you are going to have a bar on my left. That is going to be, of course, Rita's Cantina. They do just have a standard bar menu here, so it's not necessarily a specialty bar, but it is a bar, so if you're sitting out here enjoying the wake, you don't have to go too far to grab a drink. And out here is that aft area of the Windjammer. So like I said, you sit out here, you're gonna notice beautiful views all the way at the very back of the ship. Definitely come back here and check this out because it is absolutely beautiful. So the rest of this deck is gonna be exactly what we just saw. We are now gonna hop down to the middle of the ship because there's several stateroom decks below me. We are now on deck number 6. Now we've jumped down because decks 7 through 10 are just stateroom decks. We are here all the way towards the back of the ship. We are in the Colony Club. This is going to be one of the activities and entertainment venues on board. You see a bar there to my left, and then you do have a stage and a dance floor again on my left with plenty of seating all around. There's a lot of different events that will take place here during your actual cruise. But there's a small little room tucked away back here that I do just want to show you, and that is going to be Chef's Table. If no one's ever done Chef's Table before, it is a very intimate small dinner that they do each evening with multiple courses. It's typically one of the most expensive dining experiences you can have on a cruise ship, but I thought this was pretty cool because already you feel like this is a very high-end venue, and then you have this high-end restaurant experience tucked away in the corner. You'll see another bar here in front of me. I absolutely love all of the woodwork throughout this ship. Again, it just feels like you are on more of a yacht than a cruise ship. You have got 2 pool tables here to my right. So you got people that will be out here playing pool before, after, or during the events in the Colony Club. And then we are walking into the Schooner Bar. Now the Schooner Bar is one of the largest venues here on board, heavily themed. You are going to have bathrooms on my left, so we're passing a ladies' bathroom there. In the middle of the Schooner Bar, you are going to have a piano. So this is going to be your piano bar on board where a lot of different entertainment does take place. You got Giovanni's table here on my left, so lots of specialty dining will take place down here on deck 6. And then on the other side of the Schooner Bar, you are going to have Chops Grill. So again, you got Chef's Table, Giovanni's, and Chops Grill, which is the steakhouse all the way here on deck number 6. You've got a men's bathroom on my left. And this hallway is another extension of the Schooner Bar, but a great place to come and take photo ops. I made a joke when we got on board that, you know, they utilize green screens so often on cruise ships nowadays to get backdrops, but the backdrops here on the Brilliance of the Seas are just permanently here. So lots of great places to take some very cool nautical themed pictures. We are now walking into the Centrum, which is kind of the main area, atrium, if you will. of the Brilliance of the Seas. You do have Vintages, which is of course going to be your wine bar. It's another staple found on many Royal Caribbean cruise ships. Now this is directly across from the midship bank of elevators. So keep in mind, elevators are found midship and more forward. The ones midship here are all glass. If you can take the ones that are ocean facing, they're totally beautiful. You got some seating in here just outside of the Casino Royale. So the Casino Royale is of course the place where you can come and make those donations to the cruise ship. Now, many people don't know that Club Royale is its own loyalty club. We have put a video out on this. If you're interested in it, definitely go and check it out. But it hasn't changed in many years, and it's actually a way for you to cruise for free. You always have to remember that gambling is for and should be for entertainment purposes only. Now, what I do like about this casino is that there's a good mix of new games and old games. What I don't like about this casino is it is very, very small, and it feels tight in here when people are in here playing. Walking out of the casino, we are going to have the pub on board. So this is going to be the King and Crown Pub. Again, another venue where you're going to have live music. This is definitely a very popular venue on board, as is the pub always. People love to hear the live music. And directly across from me, you are going to see darts. People play darts in here quite a bit. So that will take place here in the King and Crown Pub. There is something else that is very cool. I talked about it earlier, and that is the cinema or the movie theater on board. Not a lot of cruise ships have movie theaters. This one does. Right outside of the pub, through this little entrance, you are going to find a full-on cinema. So if you're looking to see a movie while you're here on the Brilliance of the Seas, you'll be able to do that in there. Those are complimentary and free. We've only ever seen that on Disney Cruise Line ships. Now I've seen it on Brilliance of the Seas. Lastly, you are going to have the Deck 6 entrance to the Pacifica Theater. So the theater, of course, is going to be your place where a lot of different shows will take place. You have your standard variety shows, your comedians will be in here, and then as well as specialty acts. So there's a Frankie Valli tribute act on board right now. We got to see them last night. But Pacifica Theater does span multiple decks. The top entrance into the top balcony will be up here on deck number 6. We come down one deck to deck number 5, and again, here on deck number 5, you are going to have the entrance into the Pacifica Theater, so that'll be another entrance. You've got a door directly in front of me that is going to just lead you to some outer decks. So, of course, down here you are a little bit closer to the water. It's a great place to catch a sail away if the top decks are too full. And then you do have your conference center here on deck 5 as well. Bathrooms are directly across from the elevators. Of course, men's, women, and accessible bathrooms. And we will turn the corner into the art gallery. Now I know that we saw some art all the way up on deck 11, but this is where the Park West offices will be. So if you're interested in purchasing art or talking to someone about art, you're gonna find that here on deck number 5. You also have the Focus Photo Gallery here on deck 5. So if you are interested in checking out the pictures that were taken during your voyage, you can come here on deck 5 and purchase those. And we're now walking into the shops of Centrum. That's kind of what they call this area, but this is gonna be like a miniature mall on board. This will be where you will find all of the different shops, as well as some little kiosks, like right here. You've got a little section of Invictica watches. And then this kind of area in the round is gonna have small shops off of it. So you do have your port merchants shop, which is gonna be your liquor, cigarettes, and food. And then your Royal Caribbean brand shop. So if you're looking for Royal Caribbean swag or gear, you're gonna be able to find that here on deck 5. And directly across from there, you are gonna have Marco Polo and Fawcett's Jewelry. So you can see that there's a lot of different jewelry through here. This is all closed because we are currently in port today, but it will open upon sail away. And as we're walking out of that roundabout area, you are gonna have Solera, which is gonna be your beauty shop. So that will be where you can purchase perfume and different beauty items during your cruise. We've now made it back out to that middle area, or the Centrum. You are going to have the Deck 5 midship elevator banks right over here to my right, and then to my left we will have Latitudes, which will be your coffee shop on board. So for the coffee lovers, you can come down here and get coffee. There is also some small bites down here, so you can order small snacks, sweets, little sandwiches, and that is right next to Next Cruise. So for all of you wanting to book your next voyage, you can do that right here on deck number 5. Don't forget, if you are booking a cruise on board, you can still book with your at-home travel agent. You just have to give the travel agent's information to the people at the Next Cruise desk, and they will help you do that. We are now here towards the stairs of deck 5, still kind of in the midship area, and you are going to have the minstrel dining room. The dining room will be found on decks 4 and 5. Deck 5 is currently being utilized for set dining, so if you have a specific dining time like 5:30 or 8 o'clock, then deck 4 is being utilized for my time dining, which is kind of come whenever you'd like. I do recommend, even if you're in my time dining, getting a dining reservation, because that could help speed up the process of getting into the dining room. So you'll see this is the minstrel dining room. It's nothing too heavily themed or too fancy, but the food in here has been really good. I know in 2023 there's been a lot of changes made specifically to the dining room. We're kind of testing all those out right now, so stay tuned for our full review on that. We have now made it down to deck 4. This is the lowest deck that has activity on it. You do of course have the medical center, which is going to be found on the lowest deck of the ship, but we're here on deck 4 in the main elevator bank, the glass elevators or the midship elevators, which come right outside of the deck 4 minstrel dining room. Now, as you can see, this is going to be that entrance. Like if you have the My Time dining, you do have bathrooms here at the entrance and exit, men's, women's, as well as accessible bathrooms. You will have stairs that will take you up to deck 5 or down to deck 3. And then as we turn the corner, we are back in that main Centrum area. So here's where you'll find your shore excursion desks as well as your guest service desk. Also here on deck 4, you are going to have our bar. Our bar is found on the older Royal Caribbean ships, so it's not a bar that you find on the newer, more updated ships, but that will be here in the Centrum along with a performance space. So every evening you'll have different performers here, things like violinists will be here, lots of live music. And of course, this bar does tend to fill up in the evenings, so if you are looking for a drink or just a place to hang out, there's not a ton of seating down here. But that is deck number 4. Well, thank you so much everyone for coming along for that tour. I know that was a little bit of a long one, but it's a really beautiful ship. Definitely let me know in the comments below what you think. Is this a ship that you've been on? Would you sail on this class of ship? For us, we really liked it. But until next time, see ya.